Cool. Hey guys, this is exercise 2 from lecture 5. This is going to be a quick program. So basically, we're going to write a program that has a button on the form, and every time the user gets close to that button with the mouse pointer, for example, take that as the button, the highlighted text. So when this pointer gets closer and closer, the highlighted text must move away from it. Cool. What we're actually just doing is changing the values of the left and top properties of that button. Or the mouse, yeah, the button. And we're randomly generating these numbers using the random generator that we learned today in class. Also, it says here we have to make sure that the button does not fall off the form, meaning that, let's go to Visual Studio, I have designed it. Okay, so this is the form. We have one button here. I've just renamed the form to Catch Me If You Can on top here. And then the button, I've named the text to Catch Me. Remember, the text here is what you will see on the form, on that control, sorry. And then here, this name that we create, btn catch me, remember this is the name we reference in code. Okay, so when they speak about the button not falling off, basically what they say is that this must not happen. It needs to stay within the boundaries of the form. Cool. So we're used to double clicking on this button and then creating the event handler, and then we normally code in there. Whereas with this exercise, it tells us that we have to use the mouse enter event. Okay, because remember, we're basing this off the mouse hovering to the button, or hovering around the button, and then it moves. That's the trigger. Okay, so we go to select that button and then go to the event handler. As you can see, by default it's on click, which we've been programming all the time. And then we go down to mouse enter. Double click on that, and then it's create your event handler. I've already put out the steps here. So what do we need to do first? We need to declare variables for the random position of the buttons. This is like changing the left property value and the top property value. Then we have to create the random generator. Next step is to generate the values to be stored in those variables we created here. And then finally we have to set the new position of the button. Okay, so we'll start by declaring our variables. We can do integer, so int left, sorry, not and, left and top, semicolon. Okay, so these variables are created, and whatever values in here will change the property value of the left and top properties of the button. So now create the random generator, just as you learned in class today. We do it this way. Oops. My random equals new random. Boom. Okay, so now we go down here to generate the random values to be stored. This is the same way we generated those values. We're going to do it inside the variable we created, so left equals to. Now everything that we do in here will be stored inside the variable left. Okay, so the code will be my random dot next. This is the syntax you learned today. Now instead of, sorry, just put that semicolon. What we did in class today was 0, so the minimum value, and then comma, the maximum value, which for example we say 10. Okay, whoops, did I run that by mistake? No, it was a bolt. Okay, cool. So okay, sorry about that. That was just debugging. Oh, my bad. Press the wrong button there. Okay, let's go back in there. Where's that event handler? Okay. So here, remember that this is the minimum value. So from 0, it will include, let's make it 1. So 1 is included on this side, whereas here 10's not included. So it'll give you random numbers from 1 up until 10, but not including 10. So basically 1 to 9. Okay, that's just how the method's done in, or coded into C#. So the next property would be top. We're going to get back to that. It's not done. I'm just going to do both. Top my random dot next. Okay, So let's make that 0 and 0. Okay, so these are our minimum values. Now here it's going to be a bit different, because remember this statement, the form we have to make sure that the button does not fall off the form. Now to do that, we're going to just use the width and height of the form to determine its upper limit, okay? So our code would look like this dot width, okay, minus the width of our button, okay? So btn button catch me, btn catch me dot width. Okay, so that's there, semicolon. So now that's 0, and whatever the form width is and the button, that calculates a value. So for example, if this was 20, then it essentially what this reads is myrandom.next 0 20. Okay, so we do the same for the bottom, and it's just going to be the height. So it's going to be this dot height. Remember, this refers to this form, so this dot height is the height of this form, so that value minus the button height, so button catch me, btn catch me dot height, okay, and that should be fine. So it's the same as writing my random dot next 0 and 20. If this width minus this width gave a result of 20, this is essentially what that statement looks like. Okay, let's move that, and now we have to basically set the new position. So the way we do this is we just assign what we've calculated in this variable to the button property. Okay, so that button dot left, which is referring to that left property of the button, and we assign it the new values that we've calculated. So it's going to be btn catch me dot left, which is that property, equals to left, which is the variable. Okay, that one is the property, that one's the variable we created. Okay, so that's just a semicolon, and then we do the same for the top side, or top catch me, whoops, dot top equals to top, and then this should work. So save, remember to always save, and let me just, here we go, and you can see that every time we try to move closer and closer to the button, it goes away. We can click it, can we? Yeah, we can click it there. But the whole point of this is to work on the mouse pointer getting closer and closer, and it moves the button based on the random numbers that we've generated. Okay, cool, that's that program.